This beat is self-natural.
We are ranked number fucking 1, bitch. Take off time, baby. Let's go.
Number 1. We just being honest, man.
Hot 1079.
Yeah. I'm just honest.
Yo, Durrty. DJ.
If I told you, you know what's so crazy is, if you go, I always tell people, listen, man, I'm not really big. I worked really hard to get to where I'm at, and I was told my entire career what I could not do, what Atlanta would not accept, and I've proven them wrong every single fucking time. And all I gotta say is, I'm not gonna talk shit. There's a web page that does ratings, and ratings are based off what the people say. And the people say we are number 1, period. So all that shit, NFL, we this, we that, no. Go on Arbitron.com and it'll tell you what every radio station in America is ranked in that city. Arbitron.com. I'm done talking. What kind of questions do I ask typically when people come to the show? I don't really ask the typical stuff. So my answer would be, I don't have a typical answer. It's just organized chaos. I am not a fan of the normal way of anything, or the right questions. Labels might come up and say, hey man, make sure you mention that so-and-so produced on the track. Guess what? The average everyday person who's buying your star's songs doesn't give a shit. He just likes the record. What he really wants to know is, Chris Brown, where the hoes at? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he wants to know that story. I'm not trying to disrespect the producers, like, more shout out to them and shout out to the artists or whatever like that, but you know, no one really cares about stuff like that, and that's never brought me the ratings that we have. I've never asked the typical questions, so organized chaos would be my answer. I don't really see a difference in the industry at all, except the way that people can advertise themselves as an independent artist has changed. The technology has changed. So whereas before you might have had an artist that was tight but was sitting at a label, now that artist has an avenue to say, okay, well, I'm gonna make my own noise, but nothing's changed. I don't get when people say, oh, it's changed. Nothing, no, it hasn't. It's just now that it's more flooded with the independent artists now, because they're tired of waiting on the big machine labels to come up there and say, okay, yeah, we're gonna do this with you, we're gonna do that with you. And it also gives you a chance to see which independent artists actually have a game plan now, because now you have to have a game plan, and as an independent artist, as well as good music. So, and whatever you consider good music is, because I hate when people try to say what real hip hop is. When I ever hear somebody say what real hip hop is, it lets me know how old they are. Underground, I mean, really, you can't call it underground no more. I mean, of course, Migos are making noise right now in Atlanta. Female Wise, Coco Kiss, Stewie Rock. There's an artist named Benefit coming out. Who else? Oh man. Up and coming, I got shout to Young Cooley. Rich Kids are still one of my favorite groups right now. I think they're signed to Columbia, but I don't think they know what to do with them. But there's a lot of people, as far as Atlanta's concerned, you know, coming up and doing things. But you know, the game is so saturated, man. In order for you to be a star now, you really have got to stand the fuck out. Like, it's all about the machine behind you and the game plan. If your game plan is to take over the world, you need that worldwide label. You don't have the funds, period. If your game plan is to make some noise until that label comes around and you can be independent and, you know, get a couple of stations in a regional area to blow you up and kind of go from there. But other than that, like, you know, it's different. Who is next? Rich Homie, baby. Like, he's gotta be next. I mean, he's gotta be next, not because, and I have to be very clear about this, not because he's the best musical maker or he's the best rapper or but he's got the best movement right now, period. Like, him, Migos, they got the best movement, and that's what labels look for now. Like, they don't, for like the last, since MySpace days, they looked for the movement. You know what I mean? That's how long labels have been looking for the movement. They haven't been looking for, because you got talent. Talent doesn't mean shit My mom once told me, she said, my mom's an opera singer. She was like, talent gets wasted every day. One thing God is not stingy with is talent. He gives it to everybody. But the ones who know how to use it the best are the ones that succeed with the best. That's just bottom line. So when people are like, I'm a great rapper, so fucking what? So am I. I'm a great singer, so fucking what? So is he, so is she. Like, what's your game plan? What's your movement? Is it making noise? Do people gravitate towards it? Like, that's what matters. Don't tell me what you and your homeboys say. I always say this, you know you got a hit when the person who don't know you love you. That's when you know you got buzz going. We're still here. Internet game, people act like the internet just got around. It's been around for over 20 years. Like, it's been around for over 30 years damn near, and it's been popular since the late 90s. People have been sending MP3s and downloads since the late 90s. Like, this is nothing new. What's changed is how fast it comes, but nothing is new. So if they thought it was gonna erase, I remember when they thought XM radio and all that was gonna erase regular radio. Guess what? It didn't. You know why? Because, well, I don't wanna give the secret out, but the truth of the matter is, a lot of the people, like, I hear on, like, satellite radio stations sound like angry motherfuckers who couldn't make it in real radio. Yo, we don't be playing that bullshit, you know what I'm saying? We got this right now. It's like, what the fuck are you so mad about? Because they didn't choose you? You know what I mean? Like, it's not up to people to give you that kind of shot. The people have to decide what they like and don't. Some people will say, fuck the Durrty Boyz, and that's okay. But as long as my ratings stay where they're at, you can kiss my ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? The people have chosen, homie. Period.
Part two of that question, do you think that the internet has leveled the playing field for independent artists?
Nah, I think the internet has definitely said to the labels, I don't need you. If you have a great game plan and some decent money, you can make a check. I wish I could tell y'all what Rich Homie's making right now per show. And I know for a fact he's getting stupid check, and he is getting airplay off of independent stuff right now. His check is retarded per show. Stupid retarded.
Yeah,
so
well, someone just told me 20.
I know for a fact he got 25 over a month ago, because actually it was 30 because he had these guys bidding for him in Florida, and he had to charge 30 for a show. This is a guy who put a mixie out, and he worked it. And we say this again, he worked it for a year. It wasn't nothing. This didn't happen overnight for this man. He worked it for a year. People say he sounded like Future, and he did when he first came out to me. And then he changed his style. Now he sounds like Rich Homie Quan, and he has separated himself. So in that you know, some type of way, it was his record. You know. But yeah, man, the internet, radio, this shit ain't going nowhere. As long as stations like Hot keep staying up to par with the new and having the, you know, as long as you got the benefit of it just pushing your button on your stereo, radio's not going nowhere. All my social media plugs, oh my god. Follow at ET Cali on Twitter, at ET Cali on Instagram, I almost call it Pimpstagram. My Vine is ET Says. It's a game I play in the clubs while I'm hosting. Don't swagger jack big faces. Let's see, at Durrty Girls 22. That's DURTTY GURLZ 22 on Twitter and on Instagram. Shout out to my Durrty Girls in New York. Shout out to my Durrty Girls in Chicago. Durrty Girls Compton. What's up, ladies? Mississippi. What's up, baby? My Texas Durrty Girls. I think we got 2 in Florida. So shouts out to my 2 Florida Durrty Girls too, man. We're gonna grow that empire down there as well, man. So there it is, and that's pretty much it. Big shouts out to Benzito Dave Mays, Hip Hop Weekly. Boys is overworking. You underdig, you overdig, you overstand, you understand, whatever the fuck you gotta say. Them boys is working and you niggas is watching. Matter of fact, I don't say we working, I say we winning.